So many times as teachers, we think, how can we have more voice and choice for our students to answer questions? And that's a great thing to think about, but we also can think, how can we front load our lessons with technology to make it a better experience? I had the opportunity to work with a teacher that let me take one of her lessons that she usually hands out in paper form, transform it into Kami, and to take it to the next level. We took a lesson that looked like this and turned it into something that looks like this. You're going to learn everything that you see on your screen in this video, and it's going to start right now. So I've got both the blank document that we started with and then what I created off to the side so you can see the transformation, and I'm going to take you through it step by step. And the first thing that I did was I created teacher instructions at the top, and this is great for students that may be absent or they just want to hear it once again, and you don't have to go ahead and reiterate what the directions are going to be. So we're going to use the comment tool quite a bit in this video, and we have 4 different ways that we can comment: text comment, voice comment, video comment, and screen capture. In this particular one, I used a video comment, and so I clicked on it, I went up here and I clicked, and the video starts right away. Now, this is not going to work because right now I'm using my camera to film this video, but if I went ahead and clicked right there, it's going to start recording right away, and you're going to have your video pop up off to the side. You can make it full screen if you needed to, or students can make it full screen, and they're able to play it and hear exactly what you're going to say. To put the instructions there, I went ahead and just put the text box. I grabbed a color, went up here. You're able to move this text wherever it is that you need it to be, and that way your little dot that's going to have your video can be exactly where you want it to be as well. All you really need to train your kids is to make sure that those dots that are on your Kami assignment, those refer to certain annotations or different comment tools that you have used to enhance your assignment. So the very next thing that I did was I used the voice comment tool for directions read. Students always have different accommodations, and making sure that the directions read are there for my students is something that I wanted to make sure actually happened. So I'm going to go to the comment tool. I'm going to go down to voice comment. I'm going to pick a color, and I'm going to place my dot. You can see that it comes up with the recording right away. So once you click, you're going to be recording. So at this point, I can delete this, I could click it again, and once I click, I'm going to read the directions and have them there for my students. When I'm finished, I'm just going to hit this stop button on the bottom of the recording. So when the teacher that I was working with did this lesson, obviously she had it so that students could draw out what they wanted to see. But I thought it'd be a lot more fun to go grab some clip art, and not only that, but show them how to remove the background from some of that clip art. And I also put in here a link to make sure that students could get started easily. And so all I did, as I click on it, was I just typed in salon customer greeting vectors. Since we're learning how to use nonverbal cues to read our customers and to understand what they're conveying. And so that link will help students be able to click and find maybe what they're looking for, and if not, they can go ahead and Google it themselves. Once they find something that they like, they can go ahead and copy it and then remove the background. So you can see I've got a lot of different ones here. This one right here, I can go ahead, right click, copy the image, and I'm going to open up remove.bg. This is a website where all you have to do is Control V or paste the image, and it will remove the background for you. So if you have something that is there just a little bit more, you can get rid of that if you want to, and you can crop it afterwards. I'm just going to right click, copy this image, so there's no saving or downloading that you have to do. This is all copy and pasting. I'm going to go back to my document, make sure I'm on the select tool, and I'm just going to press Control V. And now I have my cartoon that is here. I'm able to crop this if I need to, just to get that bottom part looking a little bit better. And I can resize it just by dragging the bottom right hand corner to whatever size that I want. So now I'm able to grab different vectors. Vectors just a fancy name for cartoons. Different vectors to go ahead and create my cartoon communication greeting to customers using Google. So you can see that I finished the cartoon and kind of gave the students an idea of what it's going to look like when they're finished. You can see the next page kind of blank. What I decided to do here was make sure that they understood that they could use the text box or the drawing tool in order to complete it. And all I did was I grabbed some snippets of what we had over here on the left-hand side. You can use your snipping tool on your PC or snip capture button on your Chromebook. I'm going to hit new. I'm just going to trace around what I wanted to grab, and then since I'm on the page, Control V will paste it, and I'm able to use the exact icons that I have inside of Cami to use as directions here. Text, I just used text boxes from the left-hand side, made it a different color, and then I encompassed the entire thing using the Shapes tool. I grabbed a rectangle, I went ahead and drew it, and then when you draw this, you can go ahead and change it if you want to. So I'm going to go back to select, and when I'm able to be on top of it here, you can see that you can fill this with whatever you want. So you can have an outline, or you could fill. If you don't want it filled, you can leave it open and then have that outline. I'm going to show you that you can fill this with whatever color you want. I'm going to do yellow, and I'm going to do a transparency of about 30. And that becomes like a highlighter. So if I put it over any text, you can see that it becomes a little bit of a highlighter. That's going to make it stand out for your students, and they'll get used to what you continually do to add to the directions of your electronic document here. Down below, what I did comparing the two, it just had lines here, and what I did was I created a white box that's behind here that's basically getting rid of all of those lines. You can see it right there. So if I pull it away and I just use the color of white, I then again use the Shapes tool to create just an outline here of where I want them to go ahead and type their answer, and then I use the text box to go ahead and put some text in here, making sure that students can place their answer there using the keyboard. Moving on. We went ahead and had a video from YouTube that the teacher wanted to upload. And so because I'm recording, it's not going to show right here. But to put a video into your document, all you have to do is go to YouTube, grab the URL of the video that you want. So I'm going to copy the link address, and I'm going to go back to my screen here. And to put the video in, I'm going to go to Add Media. I'm going to go down to YouTube. I'm going to paste the URL that I just grabbed. And you can see it's starting 11 seconds in. I can make sure that I put that right from the beginning. I can hit next. And now, wherever I want to drop this on the page, I can. Now I can, before I drop it, move it to different pages that are part of this assignment. But once you drop it, you're not able to move it to a different page. You actually are restricted to the confines of the page that you're on. So I'm going to try to just click and drop this as an example right here. I'm going to shrink it. It takes a little bit to shrink sometimes, but you are able to shrink it down really small. And it doesn't matter because this button right here, it will make it full screen. And the other best part about this with Cami is that there are no commercials. When you bring it into Cami, you should not have any ads. So all the distractions that come with YouTube get taken out when you bring a YouTube video into your Cami assignment. The next section, I decided to use the comment tool or the voice tool. So I added in some directions. Again, I just used the text tool, put some emojis in there to make it look a little bit better, and highlighted it just like I did before. And now students are going to have a little bit of voice and choice. They can use the comment tool where they're going to go ahead and actually put a text comment in, or they can use the voice comment to complete this section. And that's going to be now part of the assignment where they have a little bit of voice and choice to answer that particular question. Going down to the next section, what we saw here was just really a blank paper except for the question that was up top. And since it was about nonverbal communication, I said, what's a better representation than nonverbal communication than some GIFs? And so I grabbed a picture of a salon. I just looked on Google for a picture of a salon, copied and pasted it. That's what's great about Kami. You copy and paste. And then in order to get these GIFs, I went to unscreen.com. And inside of unscreen.com, you're going to be able to search for different GIFs. And when you find ones that you like, and in this case, I went ahead and found some that dealt with nonverbal communication, we can grab that GIF. All I did was click on it. It's going to do what it does best and take the background away, hopefully. And now I can download this as a GIF. If you just hit download, it will download it as a GIF automatically. But you can download it. And now I'm able to go back to my document that was here, and I can add media. I'm going to add media from my computer. So I'm going to bring it in, and just make sure you know what folder it is, and you can drop it in wherever you want. And there's Brad Pitt dancing away. So that's what I did. I put GIFs on top of a static background, all with a bunch of different hand gestures and nonverbal gestures, just to make it fun for the students and to get them thinking about how they're going to answer the question. The next piece of the assignment dealt with a mind map, and I knew exactly where I wanted to go with this. Kami has so many different options in their templates that it's just becoming an incredible resource for teachers. So going back to my document, I knew that I was able to add media, and they have a section here called graphic organizers where I'm able to add something very quick. So instead of students drawing this out themselves, I'm able to give them a little bit more direction and make it a little bit easier for them. So I went with this one, and I was able to click and drop it wherever I want on the page. And then I can resize it as well, just like we do with everything else in the bottom right-hand corner. And I went a step further. Instead of them putting their own text in here, I went ahead and started creating text boxes for them. Place text here. And I, again, just kind of copied it so that I can copy and paste it as easily as possible. So I can do it again. And I just keep moving these into the boxes. That way my students can go ahead and just click on the actual section where the text is instead of having to create it themselves. There's a little bit more work for me, hopefully to make it a little bit easier for my students on the back end. Scrolling along, next we had a section that, again, it's just more lines of answering. So how could we make it a little bit different? So I erased the lines, and you can see what it looks like as I hover over it. But really all I did was I used the drawing tool, used the white, and used my stroke thickness, the thickest thickness at 12, and just went ahead and started erasing the lines just by drawing over the top of it. I then used the text tool, put some more emojis in there, and then highlighted the comment tool, the voice comment or video comment to complete the task. We wanted them to use any of the comment tools that were at their disposal in order to answer this question. And then at the very bottom, I highlighted this right here because this was pertinent to the textbook that my teacher uses. Instead of handing out giant textbooks to everybody, what I said was, let's combine this and make it part of the assignment. Yes, we have one more blank page that shouldn't be there, so we wanted to get rid of that anyways, but how can we add that in? Well, what I did was I went and took scans of those 4 pages. And what I'm going to show you is how to split and merge what we have created right now with the actual textbook pages that I have. So there's 2 ways to do this. You can go directly to Kami and go down to split and merge. And when you go there, it's going to bring up this screen. And from your Google Drive, you're going to be able to pick the files that you want to bring in. That's fine. But I can also do it directly from what we have already created. The hamburger menu to the top right has split and merge here as well. It's going to process, and it's going to show us all of the pages once it is processed. So here's the document. I'm now going to find the other document that I want to bring in. Those were those scan pages from the textbook. And here's our textbook pages that I want to attach to the file. So I'm going to hit next. And you can see that we have 2 separate files in all of the pages that are here. So this blank page that we wanted to get rid of anyways, I can go ahead and delete. And now I can go ahead and move the 4 textbook pages in the correct order up above and make it part of my lesson. I'm going to click export. I'm going to open it in Kami or save it to my Google Drive, and then I'm finished. I'm opening it up in Kami, and now I'm able to name it whatever it is that I need to, or make it a different name. You can see it gave it the number 1 so that it differentiates from the one that we were working on before. But if I scroll down to the very bottom, this should have everything that I have put into the document, including the textbook pages. A couple other things that I wanted to talk about in this video that takes Kami to the next level that we didn't use in this particular assignment. One of them is Google Lens. Google Lens is a huge piece that is able to look up places of pictures and what they actually are. It's able to change the language of what you're looking at. So one of the ways that you can do it, I have this vector here. All I have to do is right click on the image and you see search image with Google Lens. It comes up off to the side. And so it's probably going to give me different, hopefully, vectors that look similar or maybe exactly match what it is that I just went ahead and clicked on. And so you can see your search. I'm going to broaden it just a little bit here so that it knows exactly what I'm looking for. But I didn't even leave the document. You can see the exact photo pops up right here, and then a bunch of other ones that are very similar to what I have there. So if I was looking for something to be a little bit similar to what I have here, it's popping up. It's incredible. The next piece with Google Lens is if you have an ESL student. So the directions, how are you supposed to change this to another language? That's something that has been put on teachers and there's no real solution that is super easy. But I think that this makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to use the snipping tool and I'm just going to go ahead and draw a box around the directions, and I'm going to paste it so it's its own picture here. So I could actually put that picture right here if I wanted to, make it a little bit bigger just to go over the top of it. But now I can right click it and I can actually search this image with Google Lens. And you're probably thinking, well, it's looking for those directions. No, inside of Google Lens, it's going to be able to translate this if we want to. So I'm going to click on translate. And now it's picking up that it's English, and we want to translate it to what language. And you can see that we have all kinds of different languages to choose from. So I'm going to go down to one that is common. I'm going to go down to Spanish. And all of your text then is translated for you. I can select all of the text. I can copy it, and then I can go ahead and paste that back into my directions. I can make it big, can make it small, can mess around with the font size. There we go. Make it a lot smaller. But now you have directions in a completely different language. If you don't want just the text, you can go ahead up here and click that little kick out so it makes it nice and big. And what I like to do is if I'm going to change this to Spanish, I like to take my snipping tool and actually take a snip of this myself. So now you could actually take exactly what you have, bring it over to our document, use Control V to paste, and now the exact directions that you just copied to try to change into Spanish have been changed and are now part of your assignment that you can give to that particular student. All right, one more thing that I'm going to give you, and it's probably my favorite tip about Kami, and that's this box up here. We're going to toggle the sidebar. A lot of people didn't even know that this existed. So this gives us all of our pages, and these little numbers that are on there are how many annotations we have made to that document. This filing cabinet right here is super important. This is your annotation bank. This will go ahead and follow you, not just on this Kami document, but on any Kami document that you open up. So if you're grading using Kami inside of Google Classroom, you can use an annotation bank to use your most popular comments and drag and drop them into the assignment for grading. But here's what's also awesome, is that you can use GIFs in order to grade as well. You can see I made a couple of myself right here. I can just drag and drop myself wherever it is that I want to be put, shrink myself down, and if I think they did something really well, I can go ahead and put myself on top of their assignment. Obviously, you do this inside of Google Classroom and grade with Kami inside of there, but if you'd like to find out how to make your own GIF, click on the link above, or you can click on the link in the description below, and I will show you how to make your personalized stickers for not only Kami documents, but you can use them in Google Slides, you can use them in Google Docs, you can really use them anywhere. In order to make sure that you save yourself, save whatever it is that you want into an annotation bank, you're going to grab the object. So I'm just going to use this vector right here, And up above, you can see that it has this file cabinet icon. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to confirm that I want it as part of my annotation bank. Now, if I scroll down, you can see that it's right there. So you can just use that XY axis, drag and drop, and now that will be part of your document. So think of the things that you use the most. I know as a math teacher, I put graphs, and you can see at the top here, I put an XY axis that I really liked, a number line that I really liked, and that will always be able to be brought into your document and then used, and you could actually show the correct way to graph a line or the correct way to move numbers on a number line. Whatever it is that you need to show your students in grading, you have at your disposal.